Wait, can you see something?
I can see my face.
All
Yeah,
right, going
I can
live.
just see on the. We live?
I think we're live.
Nice.
Finally. What a week, Casperino. What a week.
What
I
a
tell you
what a
what.
week indeed.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Welcome, everybody. We are starting 35 minutes after our standard programming time, but that is for a good reason. I was late. Home.
Disastrous, Patrick. What happened? Traffic?
Uh, yes. Hang on. I should have fixed that. Try speaking, Casper.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we had some technical difficulties. As in, like, I have you doubled up in audio.
Gangster.
Do you remember lockdown? We
Casper.
did this quite a few times.
Yeah. And there was we were always doubled up, or we had some sort of audio like playing in the background over the top of us while we're trying to talk.
We always had technical difficulties. It's incredible.
Always, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna put out this little chat box.
Oh, nice. Hello, Andrew
Hello, Andrew.
Kaminski.
G'day, g'day, g'day. It's cool. So we've got some really awesome stories for you guys today. Welcome. It's Set of the
Yeah.
Beanstalk. We are back. We will try and always make it on time, but live sometimes get in the way.
Yep. Or traffic in that sense.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bless you.
Or sneezing. Now, g'day, Nathaniel. Now, the other question I have for everyone is, what do we have in regards to topics for you today?
What do we have, Patrick?
Oh, is it me?
No, I've got stuff.
You
All
got the
right, so
topics?
first
Okay.
of all, yeah, the reason we had that little picture up for the video is that big news: PlayStation acquires Evo fighting game tournament. Wow.
You'll
Big
need to
news.
explain that to me because I don't even get that one.
I will. I'll elaborate on this one as we go into the article. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the next one is Tesla CEO Elon Musk updates his job title to the TechnoKing.
That's
Freaking
what I named the stream, TechnoKings.
Oh yes,
We could be the
TechnoKings.
Techno Kings.
Absolutely, absolutely. The next one is Xbox and Bethesda. They finally, I guess, sealed the deal, and they talk about exclusivity on the getting some games for Xbox and Xbox only. Well, on their platform, really, the Games Pass.
Yeah, and that
Then
includes
yeah,
PC.
yeah, it includes PC. Yeah, yeah. Then I've got NVIDIA doubles GeForce Now's paid price, and that's something that you have a bit of knowledge on
Yeah.
regarding GeForce, yeah, the GeForce Now. So yeah, doubling up on that subscription, man. Got to make it expensive.
And we have some comments. Should we talk about the election? The fact that we're now living in a North Korean state?
Living in the labor world. Why a North Korean state? I don't get it. Wasn't
One
it the
party.
state before?
Well, no, well, it was, but it's a one-party state. There is literally no opposition. There's no way to
Oh
vote
yeah, you're
something down.
right. Yeah, yeah.
G'day, JMO. G'day, Ethnic. G'day, Pokewood. Ethnic's building a computer, 6700 XT. I got an email saying, do you
Bam.
want to review the 67 XT? No, the new one. What's the new one that came out?
What?
From
6700 XT.
Nah, there's a new one that came out from AMD this week. We should talk about that, to be honest.
What? That's a new one?
Yes, there is. My mouse is over your face, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, the
Mouse
6700
over
XT.
face.
That's right. That is the new one that came out. RDNA
Yeah,
2, 96 megabytes of Infinity Cache, 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. It's 2 times higher performance in selected titles. Amazing. Versus what?
Amazing.
Anyway, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
check that out. I'm going to email back and say, yes, I'd like to review it. I want to see what it's like because that seems really cool. So,
Yeah.
shall we roll the intro and then talk tech?
All
Tech
right,
talk.
kick it.
Kick
Chief.
it.
Oh, we do. Whoa, that's gonna be confusing. I'll be like, which kind am I talking to?
Versus what?
I have no idea when the intro finishes playing because I'm watching the stream live and it's still the intro as oh there it goes. also down for a pizza.
You're down for a pizza?
Down for a pizza.
Are you gonna have pizza for dinner tonight?
I am. It's gonna be my dinner.
I did have pizza. We had a sundowner at work, which meant drinks, and hence
Yeah.
I'm late. Drinks and pizza, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty full, I suppose.
You're
Good pizza.
revving to go. Nice.
Raring to go. So, first topic of the day, let's talk GeForce Now. Because you know
Yeah.
what? I'm amazed they've put up the prices because I feel like people haven't really taken it up, you know? So
Really?
let's have a look. Well, I guess put it this way, right? So GeForce Now has just reached Australia and it's just in WA and it's only available with Pentanet. So how can you say that you're putting up prices on a product that hasn't really been quite released? Maybe this is the first of many times that it's going to go up.
They have a lot of subscribers though, don't they? Like a couple of million.
Do they?
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit less than that. I can check for you.
Ah,
GeForce subscribe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they have
Subscribe.
like heaps of subscribers. That's probably why they're celebrating. They're like, yeah, we have heaps of subscribers.
Oh,
Let's make
dude,
more
4
money.
million. 4 million
4
subscribers.
million. Well, double that. Jeez, yeah, heaps.
That's incredible. You know what? How does that then compare to Stadia, right? So Stadia was and is a bit of a joke.
Right, yeah.
And on GeForce Now, you don't have to buy the games, do you?
Yeah, because they call it, well, they refer to it as the Netflix for games, whereas Stadia is like, well, you've got some games, but a lot of them you need to pay for them.
Yeah, you need to buy the games and then pay for the
Yeah.
service or the platform to use those games that you bought. And guess what? You can't just then take, let's say if you buy a Steam game, you know, and you change your computer, you can have the game still because you just reinstall Steam. If you're on
Yeah.
Stadia, you buy the game on Stadia, you can only ever use that game on Stadia and it's full price. It's full
So,
priced.
but on GeForce Now, you don't get the actual hardware, do you? Whereas on Stadia, you do.
No, of course not. But hang
Yeah.
on, what do you
So I
mean by
guess it's
hardware?
the whole component for Stadia or the selling point is that, you don't need a computer at all. All you need is a controller. But on GeForce Now, you actually need your own hardware, don't you?
No, it's the same idea. You can just
Is it?
play, yeah, so you can just play on your, let's say your TV that has an Nvidia Shield. So you need to buy an Nvidia Shield.
Oh, so yeah, you do need some sort of hardware. You need to buy
It's
the shield.
it's yes and no. So you can play it on the computer, obviously, if you don't have a powerful computer, because you can
Yeah.
just run GeForce Now. Um,
Yeah.
but Nvidia Shield is probably the best way to do it because it connects up to a big TV and it's like playing console.
Okay. How much
So,
are those shields, by the way? Like a couple of $100?
yep, $200.
Oh, that's all right.
No,
That's a
that's
good
pretty
deal.
good. Like, I mean, if you've got, like, think about it this way: if you've got $500, you can't buy
Yeah.
a console right now. But if you've got good enough internet, if you've got fiber to the premises, you could buy the GeForce Now subscription, $10, and then also get obviously the console thing, and it comes with a controller too. Can't see my mouse,
Oh, that's
but
all
there it
right.
is. There's a controller there. So what did they say? When it launched last year, Nvidia warned that the $5 founder subscriptions to its stellar GeForce Games service would only exist for a limited time, and the Thursday, the company kept its promise. Going forward, the premium tier for GeForce Now will be doubled to a premium membership and cost $10 per month or $100 per year, twice as much as before. Bummer. Doubling the price of a paid GeForce Now
Well,
subscription doesn't look good at first blush, but it's not quite as bleak as it sounds. Nvidia will still offer free unlimited use GeForce accounts that you play your PC games for up to an hour before asking you to join the queue again. That it's, you know what, I like that because it means you can test how it works for you and you
yeah.
can see if it actually is worthwhile, and then you can pay for more than an hour.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
Do you remember getting demos from like EB Games and the little demo discs?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember, and they were like on PlayStation magazines or PC Gamer magazines. You'd buy like that magazine, you have a disc on there, or sometimes you'd have some in like a cereal box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you basically get to play a game, test it out, and then if you so choose to buy it, then you can support the publisher. And one of the things that we have lost in the last decade or so, I think, is those demos. Piracy has certainly gone up, but I think that's because we've lost the demo. Everything's online only. Have to connect online, always be online, and the games are disappointments. There's a lot of disappointments with the games. So
Yeah, I found out that the whole thing with video games like purchasing and returning, like there's a lot of, I guess, issues with that, with the whole like consumers aren't really protected very well enough, and like not too long ago we've only had where it was it the who stepped in to actually protect the rights of the Australians against Sony PlayStation because
ACCC, I'm pretty
they
sure it was.
it was the ACCC, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
because you'd buy a game and like if the product was faulty, you couldn't return it because you like
correct.
tested it or something. And the second that you test that game, you can't return it, which is like absolute garbage.
Yeah, it's
Um,
ridiculous.
so so thank you ACCC for stepping in for that.
And do you remember that was also a case against Steam? So Steam lost a
Yeah.
huge court battle because they were not allowing refunds for games. And so that's why they added this whole thing. Okay, look, if you've played less than, 2 hours, then yeah, okay, we'll let you refund it. But the
Yeah.
ACCC was like, well, it doesn't really matter how long they played or, because they could have tried to get it working for 2 hours and then, and then it wouldn't work.
Wait, so now there's no time limit?
There's a discretionary no time limit. I'm pretty sure like on the it still says 2 hours, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you can play longer and still return it. But it has to be
Wow.
like serious. Like you have to be like, look, it doesn't work, blah blah, and this is the reason for it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that discretionary thing makes a lot of sense because you're like, I've got 120 hours, been really trying to make this thing work. Honest, can I return it?
yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah,
I'm just googling now to try and see how I can actually load it up on the PC, but I because the whole thing with Pentanet is still a little bit confusing.
yeah,
So I should probably share this. Hang on, I'll share this page because I
yeah,
think it might be useful to have a look. So GFN, so GeForce Now dot Pentanet
yeah.
dot GG, right? So they've actually got a whole link to this whole page. So register your interest. It's launching in Australia in 2021, so it's not live yet. More power, more
Okay.
play, blah blah blah. Register your interest, and you can access any of your games anywhere. And right now, if you have an NVIDIA Shield, you can use this service like GeForce Now, but you connect to the American servers. I haven't tested my
Right.
NVIDIA Shield to try and play the games locally. I don't think it's going to work, but it could. So you can.
Oh, you should totally do a review of this because, like, I'm looking at Nvidia Shield prices on PLE and it's like 227 bucks.
Wow.
So this could be like a really nice alternative for people who can't currently get consoles or they can't get the GPUs that they want. Maybe this could be an option for them to really, jump into gaming at an affordable price.
I have to say, there could not be a better timing for Nvidia to push this product out. Like, I can't
Yeah.
see any better time for something like this because this is fantastic.
Yeah. No, that would definitely make for a great I guess like a consumer friendly review video thing that you could put out.
Yeah,
I'd be
I'm
interested to
pretty
know
sure I've
about it.
already subscribed to like I've already registered. I think I registered like day one, but I'll have a look. But
Yeah.
apparently we can use it on the PC, obviously. Mac
Yep.
OS, which is, I mean, that's big news for Mac OS. Like playing
Yeah.
games on a Mac isn't the easiest thing, so this will be great. Android TV, and that includes Chromecast, Google TV, and Sony TVs.
Wow. Cool, man.
And imagine that Stadia could not get it to bloody work on their own Chromecasts.
Wow.
That's
Okay, that's
insane.
pretty
That is
garbage.
insane. Chrome browser will probably be the game changer. If you can just use a Chrome browser, that literally makes any device playable. So you could have an old school TV that just has a browser if it can load up Chrome. So I mean, Windows PC Chrome browser is going to be similar, but imagine that you could be at work, plug in your controller, and play some games. I reckon
Cool.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, you could like minimize your screen and have like all these graphs in the background. Be like, yeah, boss, just doing work, and then
Just
bring it back up.
doing the graphs, man. Look, all the
Doing
graphs.
the graphs and getting all the headshots.
And of course,
Yeah.
Safari on iPhone and iPad. That'll be interesting. So iPad will probably be a big thing because iPad has the ability. Well, I mean, a lot of things do, but connect your controller via Bluetooth into the iPad, and it recognizes both PlayStation and Xbox controllers. So I think that's really good overall.
Fantastic. So maybe that $10 a month is it's not they're not asking for too much, are they?
No, I don't think so. I think look at it this way: it's kind of like the Netflix of games, right? I think at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
probably the closest we're going to get right now. But I wanted to share with you here the actual requirements. So internet's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
It says here one of the key things you'll need for an epic GFN experience will be a fast and stable internet connection. GeForce Now requires at least 15 megabits a second for 720p at 60.
Oh wow. Okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's cool.
25 megabits a second for 1080p at 60. And hardwired Ethernet connection or 5G router is strongly recommended.
Yeah, what do they say? It's like 50 or wait, no. No, I'm thinking actually streaming movies because I think 25 megabits is only required for like 4K streaming, but that's for movies. For gaming is a different story. Yeah.
Correct. Well, see, for
Mm.
gaming, I don't think it's so much the stream, it's the stability of the connection, right? But I think it's the
Yeah.
ping. Like, imagine you make a move on your controller, you press a button, and how long it takes before you see it happen on the screen. The easiest way to check that is like if you have a game that makes your character jump, you can just press the X, and it's really obvious to see when the character moves versus when you press.
Yeah, this is what fascinates me because you have like two layers of response time there. It's like one, it's with the interface, so your controller and the interface, and then two, it's actually with the server or like on the other side or wherever it's placed.
That's right. Um,
Mm.
So yes, you need to own and purchase games from one of the supported game stores before playing it on GeForce Now. The service also supports over 75 of the most popular free-to-play games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and more. So you do need to own the games. Let's have a look at what games will be available. GFN powered by Pentanet is a bring your own game service that connects to your previously purchased own digital PC game stores, as you can stream your own library of games. Cool, easy. So if you own the game, you'll be able to stream it. I wonder if you
Cool.
have to. I think you have to connect your Steam. I think that's how you log into your Steam or your Origin. I think that might be how it is.
So they support 75 of the most popular free-to-play games.
I
Okay.
didn't
Oh,
even
that
know
this
there
is
was
free-to-play, right?
75 free popular games.
Yeah, there probably is nowadays because so many of those battle royale games have spawned in the last few years and
This
just
is
lots of multiplayer.
This
Yeah.
will probably be a good question here. GeForce Now streams your favorite PC games from NVIDIA cloud data centers. You can use GeForce Now across any supported device. Game Stream lets you cast your PC games to your Shield by accessing games from GeForce Now powered PC in your home. So that was a really cool thing to start doing. So you'd have a big TV in the living room and your computer could be there. You wouldn't have to have a computer PC gaming thing under your TV to play games. You could just stream it down to your TV. That was really cool. I only tried it a few times, but it worked really well. And that's on your
Yeah.
internal network, so it was much faster.
Oh, cool, man. And I mean, in the next decade, all of this stuff is going to be ironed out so well. We're not even going to have these conversations about like, oh, latency issues and all. I mean, I hope so. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be embarrassed for the infrastructure.
Yeah,
And it just
well,
feels like, yeah,
Jason says cloud gaming is only functional on the home network. I have to admit that at this stage in time, my 1 gigabit home network is probably where cloud shines, because it's the
yeah,
ping. It's not the stream.
it's that thing.
It's that
Mm.
ping. So anything above 60, 70 is not really that playable for competitive gamings, like at all.
Yeah. So is this where like rollback netcode comes into all these games?
Yes.
Like where it actually predicts what you're going to do, and that's probably the workaround.
Correct. I think what was there was another system, actually another company tried to do this and they actually went under. Um, they
Oh.
they used predictive things where they would render multiple scenarios of where you're going to go next,
Hmm.
and then that it took a lot of computing power and whatnot. But yeah, it didn't fare so well.
Yeah, it seems to be where a lot of people are moving towards, like especially in fighting games, because like reaction time is key, and you're like locked in combat with your opponent. Like, yeah, and there's really no time for delay.
Yeah.
So it gets super messy if you have any issues with ping.
So for you, Casper, you play a lot of fighting games. What would it mean to you if, for example, you're battling somebody on the other side of the world and the the controller that you controlled had delays. Like it would delay itself in regards, you'd press a button and then it'd take just sharp of a second, maybe half a second.
Oh, well, that's the thing, like with the gaming community, they're extremely uptight about any delays, any ping issues. So essentially, if a game is not supported well, if it doesn't have the right, rollback netcode, then people just abandon it immediately. It completely dies off. So the whole gaming franchise kind of relies on this because multiplayer is so massive. There's only so much you do on single player in a fighting game. I mean, yeah, there are still, a lot of people that enjoy that, but it's that multiplayer component. And if it doesn't work well, then you lose a huge, huge consumer base of players.
I think this will be good for single player games like Tomb Raider. To be honest,
Yeah.
you have to time some buttons, but Tomb Raider on this on a big giant screen with beautiful RTX quality, I think would be fantastic. I wanted to answer a question that came up a little while back.
Yeah.
Is it only
Oh,
Pokewood
yeah.
Theatre says, so you can't use GeForce Now outside of WA. Well, to answer that question is, they say here that we aim to roll out the Australian GeForce Now beta in mid-2021 with an intended commercial launch to follow. The beta is open to all Australians with a suitable broadband connection, with Pentanet Inter customers receiving priority access.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing that if you're connected, you know that whole queue thing that they said that you queue for like an hour to get like a seat? I bet you that means that Pentanet customers will be up first in line.
What does that mean? You queue up for an hour, like for a seat. What am I queuing up for?
So the service is free for an hour, but then you have
Okay.
to re-queue after an hour.
What the hell?
Yeah. And so if you pay for it, you can play, I think, 6 hours and then have to re-queue or something like that, or reconnect, disconnect. I think it's just to keep the server loads at a bare minimum.
Right. Okay. My God, this infrastructure hasn't really been fully developed yet. It's like
No,
really baby steps.
very much so. And I think the idea is that Pentanet has their own servers and they're loading up the GeForce Cloud software onto it, and then they can connect. They can be the like the central connection of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Ethnic says that he doesn't have time or money for multiplayer these days. He prefers a unique story and combat with decent characters in single player games these days. And it shows that today we have this huge, huge growing population of people that absolutely love single player games. And maybe because, one component is because multiplayer can get really toxic.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it's also because, we just, on our downtime, we just want to enjoy some of these experiences by ourselves as well. And I think these massive gaming companies have proven that they can make just amazing single player experiences where you feel like, oh, I don't actually need the buzz of a multiplayer game.
Look,
Yeah,
I think multiplayer will always have a space because I love jumping
absolutely.
on and playing with others. Like there's a certain camaraderie of, especially co-op games, right? Where you on a
Yeah.
team. Like I think that's really cool. The other side of it is the toxicity side. I think it depends on, it really depends on the game and what that game is going for. If they're going for this like really stupid competitive edge that also gives you
Competitive age. I'm
competitive edge.
99. How old are you? Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much WoW, right? The older you are, the better
Yeah.
with the levels. But I think at the end of the day, when you have competitive games, there's competitive games like Fall Guys that are absolutely fun and they're competitive, and you play with others, but you don't really rate like you can rage at the game, but you don't. There's no toxicity like it's generated. But then you have something like Fortnite where extremely competitive and people rage at each other. Call of Duty chat rooms, they're just crazy. So I think there's games that have it and games that don't. But I think would you say, and I guess you kind of said it, but do you think single player games have become more popular as of late after the influx of multiplayer games? Do you think these companies have sort of gone, oh wait a minute, maybe there is some money to be made with single player games?
Yeah, this is what I'm wondering. Is it because it was a gap that just wasn't filled? Or maybe because they had such a big explosion? Or you know what? I'm just thinking before the rise of like uh, super fast internet or
Right.
stable internet connections, we didn't really have these epic multiplayer experiences. And so we would meet up at cyber cafes to get together or at LANs, or it would be couch co-op. And then, okay, the whole world has now access to multiplayer. So it was new, it was exciting. Everybody was getting together. And I feel like that massive wave has kind of come and gone, and people have now figured out what works for them, what they love. And now they realize, oh, a lot of people actually, they know that multiplayer is there, they can jump in any time, but they would love something that really entertains them. So maybe it's like the next tier of entertainment. So maybe that's why there's this huge rise of single player experiences, because if you can have this Hollywood epic experience playing a single player game, then give it to me. It's like I'm like I just want something bigger and better, like like an adrenaline junkie. So maybe that's why there's a lot of people jumping on board of the single player experience.
I want to give you my theory of why that is.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of the population that plays games has aged and have grown out of competitiveness because after the age of 25 your reflexes just shatter. They just go downhill. Like I'm not the same Siege player that I was, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or when it started, whatever it was, or Call of Duty, I could have walked around, closed my eyes, and sniped every single person in the head. I actually used to compete in Battlefield and Call of Duty competitions, and it was fucking fantastic. It was great. But now I sit down and play like Call of Duty. I'm like, wow, I'm slow. Like I feel like an old man. I feel like absolutely shattered. And I think,
Yeah.
but I play something like a single player game where and I tend to put the difficulty onto maximum anyway.
Yeah.
And when I beat that, I feel that similar rush that I used to feel when I used to beat all those other noobs, as they say. That's what the kids used to say, the noobs. And I think what's
Yeah.
happened is we've got an aged population of people who are just getting older. The skills are not as sharp,
Yep.
and we play less. So obviously we don't sharpen the pencil so much, and that's it. You end up playing single player games, but you just start falling into it. And now this generation, it used to be called nerds. If you played video games 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you're a nerd. You're
Yeah.
you're you're a little geek and nobody liked you. But now they're making millions and it's all of a sudden it's popular, right? So if
Yeah.
remember the girls were like, "Oh, he plays video games." Ooh. And it's like,
How the tables
so
have turned. Now the game's like he plays video games. Ooh.
how the turntables.
Yeah, the
um
turns of the tables.
so
Uh,
yeah, that's just my thought. I think it's an aged population thing where single
yeah.
player games are better. Well, sorry, are more popular because there's more gamers now at an older age that feel more satisfied with those kinds of games. G'day, Pog.
Yeah.
Welcome, mate. Ethnic says, aren't more single player games exclusive to certain consoles and hence are bigger money making opportunities on a console side anyway? Well, who can afford consoles, right? It's people who tend to be working who are already older anyway. So that's probably why they're selling. And I think,
Yeah, and he's true by saying, yeah, it's a nice big money making thing for the actual the ecosystem.
yeah,
So like whether it's a Sony or an Xbox, yeah, it is a way for them to make money. Absolutely, it's a way to draw the crowds, but it seems to be that like that's kind of like they know that that single player experience is drawing crowds. Like if they made a multiplayer game that's only on a single console, I wonder how that would work out. Maybe not so
yeah.
well.
Hang on. Is there a video game that is multiplayer and has only been on a single console?
Actually, you know what? Games like The Last of Us and Uncharted had multiplayer components, and they did thrive a little bit. But
Right.
I find that maybe because you now have a smaller player base to draw from, that could offer some challenges. When you log in, oh, instead of like 100,000 players, there's like 20 or 30,000 players because it's only on that single
And
console.
they're all in the Philippines, like hacking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, so it seems like multiplayer games, you want to go cross to all the consoles and all the PCs, whereas like maybe single player experiences, you want to steal those for yourselves to make the big bucks.
That's the thing. Like single player games in the past have seen very little resale value. In the
Hmm.
past, like companies would be like, oh well, once we release it, everybody buys it, and then what? Like we sell like a few every so often. But
Yeah.
now it's just like you buy it and there's more customers to buy. It seems to last longer, and things like remasters, part twos and part threes or whatever it might be, number two, one, two, or three. They seem to sell even more of that same product, of the H one. Like if I like look at you, right? You said you went and bought Diablo 2, right? Just before the remaster.
Yeah, I did. I bought it straight from Blizzard for like $20 or something. And
20 effing dollars. I saw that in the
yeah,
bargain bin for $2 like a
yeah,
decade ago.
I don't have a CD drive. I would totally buy that if that was in a bargain bin.
I know, but do you get my point? Like
Yeah.
they're making a huge killing on this game now because it used to be popular and now we're releasing a remaster.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like this game has had I would say a decent community. And I mean, look at it. It's 21 years old. It's a
Jesus.
21-year-old game. And it just shows how good that game was. Like
Yeah.
I'm craving just to play it right now.
I can't wait. I can't wait to
I
the
love that game.
remaster. I'm so excited. I think we talked about it last time, but are we going to do
Yeah.
the 24-hour stream of
20
it?
Oh, I think we should do a 24-hour stream one day. I don't know if it should be of that.
Oh,
And
of that game, right.
we could, if you're keen, if you're down, we could make it like a 24-hour
I'm old.
stream of hell
I
or
might
something
fall
like that.
asleep.
How would you do that though? Like
you'd
24 hours,
you'd
like to be
start
awake for 24 hours.
I think we should start at like morning.
Midnight.
No, morning. So like
Oh,
6 or 7.
right.
And just
And then
go
finish.
have breakfast, have lunch, have
We have
dinner.
like a breakfast stream, like high
Yeah.
tea and stuff.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then go into the night and you finish at the time that you started.
Wait, but you'd finish? Yeah, yeah, you go through to the night, to the morning. So
Yeah.
like 6 a.m. It's like breakfast time again, but
And
no,
then
it's
and then
sleep
you
time.
finish off with like a sausage and eggs.
Yeah.
Or bacon and
And go
eggs.
good
That's what people
and
have
go
these
good night
days.
stream.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
would you go to bed after that? If you didn't sleep all night, would you go to bed? Or would you then stay up to then sleep the next night?
Dude, you know what? I don't know what our bodies would do, especially at this age. I haven't been up for 24
At this
hours.
age,
I
Jesus Christ.
know, ancient bones. Wow, when was the last time you stayed up like
Diablo
super late?
3.
Oh,
Diablo
Diablo
release
3.
day of Diablo 3, and only because we
Yeah.
couldn't connect for hours.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, we
And by
couldn't
the
get it.
time we managed to play the game, it was so
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, we probably like stayed up to like 4 in the morning or something, or 5 in
Yeah.
the morning. Yeah, but that doesn't compare to like a 24-hour day, right?
No. No. And I'd have to take a day off work. Like if we
Yeah,
did it
yeah.
on like a Friday or something, start Friday morning, then maybe we
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
it. And we'd
24
have
hour
to
stream.
we'd have to do it for like a charity thing or something. I don't know, because it
Yeah, absolutely.
have to have a reason, right? You can't just do it for shits and giggles, or can you?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we could do a vote, like pick some things that we want to like raise some money for,
Yeah,
and then do a 24-hour Diablo 2 resurrected stream. Oh my God.
I reckon there'll be a lot of people doing long streams, but I think we can outlast them all. I think if we just
Yes.
continually play and plow, we'll get noticed,
Dude, yeah, man. Whew.
and then we'll get delirious and talk a lot of crap.
I know, that's the thing, right? You'd probably like go insane. I know. Well,
Yeah,
wasn't there a guy? There
3
were some
days.
people that died when Diablo 3 released, and they were playing for like 36 hours.
You're joking.
No, remember that? Like
Oh,
I think we
seriously?
bought the game and we were like, cool, we're gonna play it. And then we heard that like a couple of guys like died playing it. And then it turned out the game wasn't that good anyway, so it's just an absolute shame.
All right, here we go. A teenager died at an internet cafe in Taiwan after reportedly playing the video game Diablo 3 for 40 hours straight. He was pronounced dead soon after arriving at the hospital. According to the Mirror, authorities believe the teenager may have suffered a blood clot due to sitting for such a long period of time.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, so people don't. Okay, so one of the things that I suppose working in the office has created was people sit for long periods of time. Like
Yes.
6 years ago, I used to go into the office, sit, get in my car, sit in traffic for an hour is ridiculous. Go home, sit in front of the computer and play video games and go to bed. Like I did that for
Oh my
like
God.
3 years, and I got massively fat, obviously, but I got massively
Massively fat.
unhealthy in regards to like heart, heart condition. So I can imagine that somebody who's able to sit for 40 hours straight in a Taiwan
Wow.
cafe, but
So what you're telling me, Patrick, is like this very second while we are streaming, we are risking our lives.
there are some people who believe that sitting down is literally killing you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, actually.
You fucking
There's
murderer! Stop killing me!
there's a component to it. Yeah, like it's a lot better for you to stand. And I mean the way that we're developed as well, since the way that we come into the world, we're designed to keep being in motion in one way or another. Like, standing still or lying down or sitting down, like it's not good for the circuitry system for the blood flow.
And speaking of moving and keep going, let's get on to our next topic.
All right, yes. All right. So the next
Segue.
topic, and look, and this is kind of like the big one that I want to
Is
like the
it
key topic
Bethesda?
is no, not that one, the PlayStation one.
Ah,
Because
okay.
this is kind of a big deal,
All
right?
right, let's talk
So,
PlayStation.
yeah, so Evo Championship Series. So this is the world's largest fighting game tournament, right?
Wow.
And so we just got news and an announcement that Sony has purchased this tournament. So what interests me is that are more and more fighting games going to be Sony exclusive? Because some of the big hitters that we know of are exclusive to the PlayStation franchise. Like we have Street Fighter, which is on PC or PlayStation. And now there's a brand new game coming out called Guilty Gear Strive, which
Oh,
is
yep.
developed by Arc System Works, which is very well known for having amazing animation and having fantastic fighting games, right?
Yep.
And a lot of people are waiting for this game to come out. There's big craze about it. There's big hype about it in the fighting community. So now that PlayStation is looking at acquiring Evo, which is I guess it's a growing community as well. More and more people are adopting fighting games or getting into the world of fighting games. So this could be a very good move for Sony, but I also wonder how are they going to capitalize on this as well?
So
That's
how do you monetize? Okay, so monetizing an event like this, right? You obviously got the
yeah.
tickets that supports the event, but is this obviously to bring a lot of people together and sell more Sony PlayStations? Because I'll bet you, obviously, it'll only be played on a PlayStation from now on, right? These games at this competition.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I mean, you enter this competition and everything is like Sony branding, only PlayStation consoles, and I'm sure obtain some sort of they're going to obtain some sort of monetary income from the ticket sales. Um, I don't know, maybe they'll get some sort of sponsorships or something like that, or I'd be interested to know, yeah, how they're going to monetize the hell out of the Evo Championship Series. So,
Well, I really
mm.
recently did a partnership with ESL Australia. They
Yeah,
they do like a tournament for Valorant, and it's actually the first time
okay.
I played Valorant, and I was like, wow, this is very competitive, and I had trouble running it on my monitor, which was ultra wide. They've made the game only work in 16 by 9, and I couldn't get it to fill my screen. And I was like, oh, fuck's sakes, I couldn't get it to work. But it's very competitive. So anyway,
Yeah,
the thing I say is like this competition, like it's great, brings a lot of people together, a lot of advertising together. There's a bit of money for the competitors and so on. It makes the game popular. So every single one of these games, Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, what's going to happen? Kids are going to see that this is like in the news is popular, and they're going to be like, I want that game. I want to play it because I want to strive to be, a competitor like that. I guess this is the same with
yeah,
sport, right? You play a sport because you were potentially inspired by maybe one of your favorite athletes, or you watched the game with your parents, or your dad, or your mother. Like, mums do go to sport with people. So guys, come on. So
yeah.
do you think this is about creating an ongoing thing where they're going to release Tekken 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 just to keep this competition going?
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. The developers of these games are always looking to stay relevant and create games that are as well balanced as they can, so they can keep these tournaments going and have these games being purchased. And what I find interesting about this article is at the bottom it talks about that PlayStation intends to break down barriers to allow players to compete at any level. Now, this is a big key statement right there because fighting games are notoriously known for having this stigma of having an extremely steep learning
Yeah,
curve. It's something that prevents a lot of people from getting into the fighting games themselves, because they're like, oh, it's such a difficult game.
too
It's
hard.
everything feels so fast. It's too hard. So it pushes a lot of people away. So if PlayStation is looking at creating like a friendlier environment for people to engage in these games in all levels, they could really grow something big here.
Yeah,
And there are still a lot of series of fighting games, such as Tekken, like you've mentioned, that's multi-platform. Mortal Kombat, that's multi-platform. But it was recently that the Street Fighter V, when that released, that was PlayStation exclusive. So I wonder if PlayStation is now looking at targeting this market, which, it's fairly niche compared to like first-person shooter games.
sure.
So maybe they're looking at fostering or growing something that's not huge at this moment, and they want to see if they can make it bloom a little bit.
Do you do you think Sony is doing this because of Bethesda and Microsoft?
Well, it's interesting that you talk about this because as of recently, Xbox has been stealing a lot of mind share with especially overshadowing PlayStation with the whole Bethesda deal because it's huge. It's like this massive tank or this transformer that's coming in the distance, right? And Sony has to actually develop a weapon to defend themselves against this
Yeah.
because it's colossal. And just imagine the next Oblivion game or the next Doom game just being solely exclusive to Xbox. It's going to cripple them. Like it's not a threat right now because it's still, down the line. It's like 2 or 3 years away, but it could be. It could be a huge threat. So and I don't think Sony should be scrambling and panicking right now just to, seal some deals and throw cash at the problem because that's not a very good strategy and that could actually work against you. But I think they need to start thinking somehow, and maybe this is a way to kind of to respond to it. And it's a slow approach.
You know how Microsoft, they have the Halo series.
Yeah.
Sony has, what does Sony have? You say Last of Us is like what's this thing that Sony has that's been through multiple generations? Like every generation, Sony has that exclusive.
See, I wanted to say it was Crash Bandicoot, but that's obviously become a multi-platform game. But I'm going to say Uncharted is something that's been throughout the years. We had it on PS3 and then PS4. And who knows? We'll probably get some sort of iteration on the PS5. That's been a long-standing series. So games by like Naughty Dog, I think, are massive.
But I just don't feel like you you could boil Sony down to one franchise. Like Microsoft took the whole Halo thing like to the next level. Like Katana,
Yeah.
a character from the game, is your Microsoft assistant, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God of War. Ethnic says, yeah, that's actually
Oh,
probably
good
yeah.
point.
God of
Yes.
War.
And the God of War is a long stay franchise that's been there since PlayStation 2, right? And yeah, and it's been there the whole way through. So you're right. Yeah, that's far more
But it's
powerful.
still, I don't think it's as accessible as Halo. I think Halo was a bit friendlier to a younger
Yeah, yeah.
audience. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, because imagine like a Halo versus or Master Chief versus Kratos mascots, right? I mean,
yeah.
Kratos like rips his opponents with his bare hands and there's blood and guts and everything. Whereas in Halo, you've got these little midgets running around that look like Muppets, right?
Yeah.
That you're shooting.
I
Yeah.
always didn't like that about Halo. I always found it very childish, but it probably attracted a lot more attention. Like it was probably a bit more fun and almost I would say relaxing. You didn't feel so depressing, and and it had multiplayer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I feel like yeah, God of War is a little bit like it's more of a naughty game. It's a bit of a taboo, whereas like Halo is like, hey, we're family friendly, which is funny because Sony touts itself, I think, as a pretty family friendly
Really?
environment. Yeah, I feel like their console is, although, mind you, with some of these new games, like maybe back in the day when it was Crash Bandicoot only, or like Spyro the
Yeah.
Dragon and
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank
Yeah.
and Jack and Daxter, but now a lot of these companies have grown up just as we gamers have, and they've given us Uncharted, Last of Us, Death Stranding, Days Gone, all these titles they're fairly mature titles. I mean, they're still giving us Ratchet and Clank, the new one that's coming out
I'm
soon.
really excited for that. I'm really excited
Me
to play
too.
that at your house
Yeah, same.
because
Yeah,
I still
I'm
can't buy a
excited.
PlayStation 5.
Oh my God, you and the rest of the world. It's
Oh
where
yeah.
are we now? We're coming up to April soon in about a week and a bit.
Now, speaking of
Still
buying things,
supply shortage.
that
Mm.
67800 came out. I was going to see if there's actually any
Yeah,
stock. I haven't checked it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but let's have a look.
6700 XT, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa,
there's
whoa.
some in stock.
There's one in stock in Wangara, guys. That's in Perth. You guys get on the first plane to Perth, you might be able to snag one.
Yeah, guys, go, go, go. Is
Now,
that the Eagle one that you're looking at?
no, it's not even an XT, it's just a 6800.
Oh, dude, I see two 6700 XTs
Ah, okay.
that are in
I want
WA.
to see something because I want to check something. How much is the hash rate on this?
Oh, no idea.
Because that
You're
is
looking
my
at
58. That's not yeah. So like let's go 3060 Ti, which is like the best one for mining right now.
yeah. What's the hash rate on your 3090?
120.
Whoa, boss.
Yeah, it's good. What's this one got? What's the hash rate? Come on.
Come on.
Come
Give us some
on.
hash.
Come on. Oh, what? It doesn't say. How come that one
58.
came out so quickly and then these ones
Yeah,
yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, here we go. It says you can make $6.10 USD per day. But it doesn't. I want the hash rate. It doesn't matter how much dollars it makes.
Yeah, 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 right. Yeah, because I mean, stonks up and down all around.
There you go. 3060 Ti has a 55 hash rate.
So it's good value for money.
Yeah, I mean, well, so the 6800 XT, so the 6800 at the price of $1,500 has the same hash rate as $1,000 card. So this is $500 more expensive, and
Wow.
and performs the same.
Okay.
That's probably why
Yeah,
it's in stock. That's what I was getting at. It's like, how's this in stock? Oh yeah, because the 3060 Ti is $500 cheaper and has
yeah,
the exact
because
same hash
mining.
rate. Yeah.
Yeah, poor gamers, right? They just want a game. So I think it's about creating cards that are these are for mining, these are for gaming, so that people can,
Look, nothing is in
buy what they
stock.
want.
This is just nothing is in
Yeah.
stock. Which one did you find? Did you find one in stock?
6800? No, I
No.
just the 6700 XT ones.
Let's have a look.
You can get one for $949
Wow,
from
yeah, it's in
Exatex.
stock.
Yeah,
Not a paper. Well, okay, Bentley has some, and in WA warehouse, everybody else is a transfer, so it's not many.
yeah.
And let's have a look at the hash rate of that.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with my 3070.
2022. That's why it's not being bought.
Yeah.
That is the same
Wow.
price as a 3060 Ti, and it has a lower hash rate than that. It's half the hash rate.
Oh, budget.
Yeah, and the other
Yeah.
problem is RTX, right? It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
RTX irrelevant, but DLSS, sorry, is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, DLSS
Yeah,
is the king.
yeah. Let's talk Bethesda because I was really excited
Speaks,
for this topic.
we're gonna be like, speaking of king, Techno King.
Oh, right. Well, Bethesda. I want to talk Bethesda.
Bethesda. Okay,
You know, when I
yeah.
was a young child and I
Yeah.
played Morrowind for the first time,
Yes.
and English is my second language, so I stutter a lot,
Me too.
and yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good fun. English being second. English is
I
hard.
know.
Um,
English is hard. So many words.
so many words mean the same thing.
I know that's what's confusing, right? Coming from somebody whose
Yeah.
original language is a different language. Oh, it's so confusing.
Actually, that's my 2 cents. Just ask, with Australian power prices, is mining even worth it? It's worth it if you were living in Western Australia because we pay 25 to 29 cents a kilowatt. So,
Yeah, and if you have solar power, cha-ching.
yeah, on the eastern states because they privatized all the power companies,
Oh God,
the
no.
prices have skyrocketed. So, not really worth it over there. But in WA, hell yeah. Um,
Oh man, I feel sorry for people in eastern states. I feel like like all around you guys you're being burgled. Especially, did you hear that thing about the did you hear about the what Victoria's putting in like a tax for electric cars?
no.
And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with
Oh,
you?
yes. No,
Yeah.
sorry. I did a dirt report on that. It was
Yeah, yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, whilst Europe and China are bringing in subsidies, in Australia, we're going to charge you more for owning an electric car.
Yeah, because there was a whole thing about the road tax, right? So it was a road tax. There was
Yeah.
a higher road tax on electric vehicles because they didn't use enough fuel, because fuel is heavily taxed. So they're like, "Oh, you're
Yes.
not going to be using fuel. We better just tax you because we don't want to
Because,
help the community,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, because we don't
environment."
want you to keep. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It's just
man.
insanity.
We need to
So
get with the program, eh? Mm.
so anyway, back to
Yeah.
anyway. So what? Because English wasn't that great back then.
Yeah.
I used to think Bethesda we used to be called Bethesda,
Yes.
and I used to be like, "Oh yes, I played
Bethesda.
this game. It's by Bethesda," and they'd be like, "What?"
What? Yeah, I know. I've pronounced so many things wrong during my life. Like, you've made all these mistakes with the English language. Oh, God.
When I first arrived in Perth, I was going to get my Medicare card, and
Yeah.
I had my old iPhone 3GS, so it had maps. And
Yeah.
then I was in Fremantle, and I was trying to find the Medicare office, and I was typing in
Yeah.
Medicare Fremont because I thought the place was called Fremont. Because
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's Fremont. And there was like, yeah, Medicare is just around the corner. I'm like walking around, trying to find the streets, figure it out. I spent an hour trying to figure out, only to realize Fremont is a town in the US and it has a Medicare office. And then secondly, Fremantle was the word I was looking for.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so English is fun.
English is so fun. Fun.
And
Bethesda.
so Bethesda. So first of all,
Yes.
which games have you played out of that lineup right there?
Oh, out of this lineup. Wow. You know what? I haven't played any. Oh, I played like a tiny little bit of Fallout 3.
How dare you not
And
play the full Fallout 3?
I know. I had like a hacked version or something. I don't know.
More than likely.
Um, I know I haven't played Doom Eternal, but I played a little bit of the other Doom,
Yep.
the previous Doom, and The Evil Within. I have that game. I want to play it, but like I don't know. haven't found the time. Like I want to find the right time to play that game, to experience that game, because it's a scary game. So
So
it'd
at
be
night with the lights
at
on.
night. Yes, I know. With like a serial killer in the house, that would be the most thrilling time to play it.
Um, I played Prey, really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
It felt more like a space Skyrim. So it felt more like,
Space Skyrim. Okay.
yeah, it felt, oh, what's a game that I could, it felt like Doom and it was like Wolfenstein in space almost. Even though in Wolfenstein you do go to space anyway. But
Was it kind of like System Shock?
yeah, a little bit like System Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh, look, it was really good. I thought it was great. Never tried the Evil Within. Obviously, Doom, all of them, Fall, All Out, all of them, and Elder Scroll, all of them. Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
My favorite game of all time was Wolfenstein. The first reboot.
Yeah.
It was just such a blast. I think it was a Wolfenstein Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and it wasn't so much I don't know if it was a reboot. It was the first 3D version of it. It's really old school, like really old. I have to hang on. I have to look this up.
Wait, are you talking about like the 90s one?
No, 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 not that one. Not that one. That was too young for that.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about like the early 2000s?
Yes,
Yeah, I remember that Wolfenstein. That was cool. It's kind of
this one. Yeah,
scary
this one
because,
right here.
yeah,
Oh,
because I was
Jack
probably
Frags
like
played
the
it.
wolf 10 years old playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, this one right here. This is the one. I just got super addicted to it. It was so good. Um,
Yeah, that's the game. I remember, yeah, walking up. It was just, it was like, it was really scary back in the day.
Yeah, dude, but it played so well, and it was so like smooth and
Yeah.
buttery smooth.
And just like the AI felt like they were geniuses because,
Yeah,
you know, yeah,
it was
because
very
there
well
weren't
made.
that many. That's right. Yeah, no, it was really well made. Nostalgia's kicking in,
Oh,
man.
absolutely. And then the one after that was Wolfenstein something one.
Was it?
Yeah, there was
Yeah, see, I
the
never
New
followed
Order.
it after that.
The New Order.
New Order.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I kind of just I was sidetracked by other games, probably. Wolfenstein. So,
Anyway,
okay, so
back
would
to
you
Bethesda.
be? I mean, this none of this matters to you, does it? Because you know your PC master race. So if they all come to, oh, what if they all come to the Game Pass? Would you be bummed, or would you be like, oh, it doesn't matter?
Well, I just cancelled my Game Pass yesterday
Yeah,
because a game that I was playing was removed and I wasn't willing to pay $100 for it.
yeah.
So,
So if all these games came to it and it was like $15 to $20 a month.
look, if next week they released the new Elder Scroll,
Hmm.
I'd buy it. The game.
Okay,
But if next week they released a new Wolfenstein, I'd get the subscription.
okay. So it
Because
just really depends how badly you want that game.
no, no, no. It depends how much time I know I'm going to spend on it.
Time sink. Ah, love
Because
it. Okay.
if I'm going
Yeah.
to be like, I'm going to play this game for like a year, I'm not going to
Yeah.
buy the subscription for $15 a month. If I can buy the
Ah.
game for $70.
So this is why WoW was so profitable because they're like, hey, let's release a game where people sink thousands of hours into it, but we'll do it as subscription only.
Game as a service, man. That is the theme of the 20 to 2000s. To me, subscriptions are like they're like the thing that defines this last 25 years to me. You've got
Yeah.
Netflix subscription. You've got
Hmm.
software, like actual like company software. It's become a subscription. It
Yeah.
used to be buy the software and then you buy maintenance packages and then you
Yeah,
pay
like
that.
Microsoft and all those what are they called? The
Adobe's and yeah.
Adobe's. Yeah, Adobe suites. Yeah.
And
And then you've got Spotify as
yep,
well, music subscriptions. Then gaming, obviously, Stadia.
yep,
So it's like you have hardware subscription as well, because I mean,
yeah. And the thing
yeah.
is, okay, when Netflix came out, everybody's like,
Hmm.
TV is dead. Cable TV is dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and OnlyFans, of course, is another subscription service that came out.
Oh, yes. And wow. And I mean, yeah, the whole subscribing. it's like you're now subscribing to subscriptions as well, because like when you think of YouTube, you subscribe to a channel,
Yeah.
but then you can also subscribe to them personally through
The join button
um
below, guys, if you if
yes.
you want to
Yeah, there
join
you go.
and
Join button
subscribe.
below. Subscribe to the subscription, guys. We're going subscriptionception on you.
So
Yeah.
to me, subscriptions define the like the world right now, and I don't see it
Yeah.
as a bad thing, but I think it's a little bit expensive because, for example, if you want to get the same TV shows that you used to get on cable networks, they used to pay $100. You go, well,
Yeah.
screw, well, wow, I can just buy Netflix for $15 and it's got all the TV shows I want. But then you go,
Yeah.
but Disney's opened one up, HBO's got
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
bloody Stan, and then you've got Prime.
Amazon. Yeah.
You add them all up, you're over $100. That used
And
to
there's
just be
Apple
a
TV as well.
yeah.
God damn, everyone's got one.
Everybody's got one.
I just remembered something. You know how we are talking about the key games that the platforms are known for. Like Jason said, Forza and Gran Turismo. It's like, yes, Gran Turismo has been around since the beginning of time on that console, and I guess so has Forza on the Xbox, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go, racing games. Yeah, so I think maybe that wraps Bethesda up. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
unless there's any other stuff you.
yeah. So this, I mean,
Refer-
this acquisition happened a little while back. So
Mm,
some facts, I suppose. The acquisition happened a little while
yeah.
back, but it was okayed finally, so it was signed off. So they've actually gone through with the
Mm.
deal. Um,
$7.5 billion.
Good sell. Good sell. Absolutely.
Good bargain. Yeah.
One of the things that came out of it was Todd Howard, the guy who leads the Fallout and Elder Scrolls teams.
Yeah.
He got a bit of a chat with Microsoft in regards to the way he handled Fallout 76. So
Yeah.
he's still on board, but he got a bit of a that was terrible. Don't you fucking do that for us, Microsoft, because
You
we'll
got a
just.
bit of a spanking.
He got a bit of a spanking, which is a good thing because he deserved it. 76 terrible.
Yeah.
He screwed over lots and lots of people. It was a giant scam, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And reputation is everything, especially when you're jumping on board with Microsoft. And they had a really shaky reputation in the last generation
Mm.
for Xbox. So I think Phil Spencer would be like, bruh, come on.
Bruh.
You know, we're trying to really, really rebuild ourselves. So we can't have this. Like it's paramount that they can't have their name tarnished any further than it was already last gen.
Yeah, and I was going to say something actually on the PlayStation one that we talked about before. It says here last year's EVO online event was cancelled after credible allegations of abuse were leveled at the former EVO president Joey Culler. The allegations saw Bandai Namco, NetherRealms, and Capcom all pull out of the event in solidarity with the victims.
Yeah, see, this would have been a fantastic opportunity for Sony to go, oh, so we can buy you at a bargain because you've been cut down at your
I
knees.
bet you they did. I bet you they did.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to swoop in when they were vulnerable.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into our final topic of the evening.
Oh, yes, the king, the one and only king,
TechnoKing.
TechnoKing.
What do you
King we
think he's
need.
an alien?
Is he an alien?
He's just on another level.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think, you know what? I think he's just an intelligent, enthusiastic guy who's been given the opportunity to actually make the changes that a lot of these intelligent men would have liked to, but didn't have the, I guess, maybe the right people backing them. Because
Sure.
you know what they say that you're only as good as the people working for you. But I think Elon's got both going for him. You know, he was obviously he was intelligent, he was talented in the realm that he was working in, but he also had a great team backing him. And because he's so open to a variety of technologies, you know, like he'd be working with the Russians on like a project because he'd be like, damn, these Russians are goddamn geniuses. And so he seems to admire intelligence without any discrimination. I think that's what makes him key because he's like, I don't care what race or what opposition you are. I just care what you can offer me.
He
And I think that's
is
what makes him.
he is our generation's Albert Einstein.
Yes. Yeah, he's the Albert Einstein that's also a successful businessman. He is obviously the Tony Stark of the real world.
Right, right. Gotcha, gotcha. That's
Mm.
yeah. I mean, there's at the moment. Do you think Tesla stock is overpriced?
Yes, still extremely overpriced. Elon Musk said this when it was at like the $300 range, and that was before it was split 5 times.
Yeah,
And what's the stock right now? So stock price, Tesla.
six
Uh,
53.
yeah, yeah, so 650 US dollars, and we have to take into consideration that that's a fifth of a stock, so it's really $3,000. So back when it was 10 times less the price, it was still overpriced. So it's still extremely overpriced. It's probably like 15 to 20 times overpriced, right?
Do you
Like you
think it's
look at
gonna
the
crash?
PE. Oh, it might do, or it might just simmer down. I mean, look at that stupid PE ratio of 1,025. It's disgusting. It is extremely overpriced. But in saying so, the reason it was overpriced is because the market was forward thinking and the fact that this is a technology that's going to disrupt the whole world. So this is why everyone jumped on it. Okay, yes, a portion of it was the fact that it was hype, that people loved the concept, but the smart money threw their money into it because, hey, this is going to be like the new mobile phone, the new bit of technology that changes the way the world operates. And being at the front line of having the best technology of the new technology, that
Yeah.
just being electric cars, you basically own the world transport.
I mean, everything they're doing is going to change the world. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
time. One of the things Sam said, Musk is awesome though, and I wish more tech companies were led by engineers. One of the biggest
Yes.
things,
Well said, Sam.
yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things that has been happening this year is engineers replacing businessmen at the head of tech companies. So one of the biggest changes was obviously AMD putting on an engineer and a doctor actually
Yep.
as their lead. So Lisa Su.
Yep.
In the Intel world, because Intel is kind of gone. Look, I wouldn't say they've gone down the toilet. They're certainly
Yep.
circling it. They're not competitive with AMD. Their latest Intel chip is nowhere near the performance of the latest AMD chip, which is already months old anyway. They've put in a new engineer. Actually, somebody had to come back. They've come back from the heyday. Engineer again
Okay.
leading the company. So seeing Tesla being led by an engineer and being stupidly successful, doesn't matter if it's a male or female CEO, it's that person's skill set of how they envision tech for the future. Because you've got a lot of people who think they're, oh, great business people, great business, but they're very short sighted. They know how to run a company, they don't know how to continually build the company. They're short sighted. They either go back to things like, oh well, we made 3 Fallouts. Why don't we make a fourth one or a fifth one, or 76 more of them, and we'll just continue to make money? It's like, well, no, you got to innovate a little bit. You got to
Yeah,
change it
you got it.
up.
You do, yeah, absolutely.
So look
I
at Elon. The fact that
mm,
he's making electric cars. He's ticked that box. He's making electric trucks. Tick that box, and even 18 wheelers, right? Self-driving, great, whatever. He's on to SpaceX. He's on to other ventures to continually expand the repertoire of probably his own ego at some level. But for him, it's just, I see a problem, I want to solve it. Here's another problem I want to solve. This is an interesting problem. I think I can solve that. I
yeah,
think people.
sorry, yeah, go on.
I just gonna say, I think people who tend to be engineers tend to be problem solvers, and
Yep.
if you're a problem solver, I think you're really adding to the world you value very valuable.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Um, I'm just wondering, just you got me thinking when you said how, these engineers seem to be, I guess, a good decision for running some of these companies, tech companies or mining companies or whatever they may be. Um, John Andrew Forrest, was he an engineer by any chance, or just strictly a businessman? I'm just curious, just looking
Is
at
this
his
the
profile.
FMG one?
Yeah, yeah. I guess the
Twiggy.
former
Is
CEO
it
of
Twiggy?
FMG. Yeah, Twiggy, yeah. Just reading on his profile because I'm very interested because um a company that I'm very much interested in, which is the Pilbara Minerals, that is actually run by an engineer. Ken Bridston or
Mm-hmm.
Brinston? Ken Brinston, yeah. And he's making some innovative moves, and it's got me thinking, like, it's exactly like you said, like, he's been a mining engineer for 20 years, Ken Brinston,
Mm-hmm.
and he's really pushing the company to new heights because of just his knowledge of mining equipment. And at the same time, they're doing a bit of innovation as well. They're implementing a lot of cool software with that as well, which is cool.
It says here he was School of the Air, Hale School, started as a child, majored in economics and politics.
Okay, so look, maybe he's not the right example.
I'm not saying. I guess I probably should rephrase. It's not all companies
Mm.
require an engineer. That's not what I'm saying. Tech companies certainly require it because the leader needs to understand the technology, but also be
Yeah,
able to think what the technology can do in the future. Because if you're building
yeah,
something now, the by the time you actually get it out to the public to sell, you're probably already behind.
yeah, absolutely
Do you know
right.
what I mean?
And that's right. And it's why these key individuals who play a part in like development need to be able to have a say because I think in our minds we also see it as, these CEOs, these directors, they say, "Oh, I like your ideas, but we're gonna go with this old boomer technology. It's worked for us in the past, it'll work now." And meanwhile, the engineer's like, "Nah, brah, like we need to innovate. These are some great ideas I've got for you." And people are too afraid to take risks. And whereas Elon's like, "You know what? I'm gonna take the biggest risk on the planet, and I'm gonna say, hey, we're going to be driving something that doesn't need petrol that the world has relied on for like the past 100 years. How about that?"
But
And
I'm gonna
everyone's
make
like,
it work. I'm gonna actually make
yeah,
it work.
yeah. He's like, "I'm going to make it work." Whereas everyone's like, good luck, brah. Like, you're going to fail miserably. Whereas he's just pushed on for the past 10 to 15 years. So
Absolutely. It's actually amazing because a lot of the car manufacturing companies were like, "Pfft, Tesla, what a joke.
exactly.
Laughing at my boomer money.
You know what? In about like 20, I think 2011 or 2012, my dad showed me the Tesla company, like when it was first incepted. Tesla,
28,
uh,
2008?
what, 2008? Oh, okay, 2008 is when it was.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Wait, no, he was CEO 2008, but I think he showed me like pictures. So, okay, Tesla was founded in 2003, but he showed it to me like 2010, and he was like, "Check this thing out." Like, I don't think they were publicly listed
No, they weren't.
back
No,
then
yeah.
as like a, yeah. And he was like, "Look at this, like these cars, these concepts, like, electric cars." And I thought to myself, whoa, I wonder if this could be the future. And then we kind of dismissed the concept ourselves as well because of like, oh, petrol this, petrol that, petrol this. Um,
It says here Tesla Motors was founded by a group of Silicon Valley engineers. Um, It says here Tesla, which is named after the famous physicist Nikola Tesla, was incorporated in
yep.
2003 by two engineers, Martin and Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Other co-founders included J.B. Struhl, Ian Wright, and Elon Musk from the money he made in PayPal.
PayPal.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then August 2nd, 2006, Elon Musk reveals Tesla's master plan. The secret Tesla Motors master plan, just between you and me. That's what he called it.
Yeah.
And in here it said,
Oh my God, yes, Tesla Roadster. Yeah, this is what my dad showed me, pictures
yeah,
of the Tesla Roadster.
yeah, yeah. He just talked about electric being the future in
Yeah.
2006. In 2006, this guy saw the future. Cooper
You know
Jin,
what though?
yeah,
A lot of us, and I mean, you're probably one of them too. Like, and I'm sure probably like half of society is on the same boat, but we were all thinking the same thing. Like, why isn't the world going electric? Like for electric cars, right?
yeah,
And then, did you see that documentary about essentially how the oil companies were buying out every single attempt at electric cars? Like
yeah,
there were all these massive companies that were jumping on board because it was hype time, early 2000s and like even late 90s. And they were basically being cut off at the knees every step of the way because, oil companies were bullying everyone.
yeah. That's right.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember all these documentaries about the Scrooge that the oil companies do, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was bound to happen. You can't keep progress down. Like even the religious tried for years and decades to
Yes.
keep science down,
Oh, well said. Yes, well said.
and it exploded. And so will this. The coal companies, the oil companies, they can't do it.
Wow, you know what? We've seen two great examples in the last couple of decades of this, of what you've just said, that you can't slow, like you can't stop progress. Sooner or
Correct.
later, it's going to boom. I mean, we're seeing this with crypto, we're seeing this with electric cars. The whole world is just converting to these new ideas because we're all convinced, like we just know they're going to be better. We know that they're going to be so much better than the previous concepts. And it's just about that conversion that is happening, that hive mentality.
Catherine says, wouldn't work in Australia for our long distance travel and long recharge time, 10 minutes to filling up with petrol and several hours recharging a battery.
Well, Catherine, fantastic question. Because the beauty about this technology is that it's continually improving. Whereas with petrol cars, you've got so much that you can get the efficiency out of petrol itself, right? Now, because this is we're moving into like a digital age, we're going to have the potential sooner or later to be able to charge up car in like 5 minutes or less. You'll
Right.
probably be able, sorry, yeah.
I was just going to be say right now, to
Mm,
fill up a Tesla at a supercharged station,
yep,
there's three in Perth, I think. It
yep.
takes 20 minutes to fill it up to 50%, 40 minutes to 80%, and 75 minutes to 100%. So if you're doing a
Mm.
long distance drive, can you spend 40 minutes having lunch somewhere?
Yeah, you could do that. I
Mm.
mean, it's an option for this point in time, but yeah, where I was going with that is that we'll eventually get to a point where it's actually going to exceed um, the I guess it's going to be better than actually filling up your car with like
Petrol.
with a petrol pump. But the next thing is that it's going to evolve to the point where charging won't even be a thing because your car will be continually charging itself. Or we could have cars on grids that just charge them as they move, you know?
There was wireless charging plates around the city was supposed to be a thing. Like the
Yeah,
road would have like a wireless charge plate at certain sections, and you drive
there
over
you
like a
go.
kilometer section. It's gonna get to that point, but I think what will happen is actually homes in general will have access to power. Like every time if you buy a Tesla, you get it
Mm.
installed. You get a connection installed in your house. And if you have three
Yeah,
phase power, you can get supercharged like speeds. You can charge your car in less than a couple of hours, right? So
yeah.
at the end of the day, how often do you drive long distances? Well, not very often.
Yep.
I'd imagine a family would have a daily driver electric car. And I'm not saying it's Tesla. I'm not saying it's going to be Tesla. I think it's going to be a much cheaper brand like Toyota or Nissan or there's a Mach-E from, I can't remember what, I think there was a Nissan anyway. But they're going to have really short ranges, 250, 200 Ks, right? You're going to charge them home. It's going to be your daily car. Go to work, come back, shop, and you're not going to have to pay for it. And then you go, okay, we need to drive down south. We need to drive there. You're going to have a bigger car, a petrol car, probably a diesel. I'm going to say it's going to be diesel because I think petrol itself is going to die out. I think diesel is going to stick
Yeah.
around for a lot longer. It's more efficient in bigger cars. And then so what's going to happen? You're going to have two cars. You're going to have a petrol car that you use once every so often. Your maintenance is going to go down on that car. First of all, electric cars have very little maintenance. Brakes and tires are the only maintenance you need to do. And obviously wash your car, not to damage the thing. And it's just going to be a situation where you won't even remember how it used to be. You'll be like, you just won't remember. It'll be like going from. Do you remember not using the internet? Because honestly, at this point in time, I can't remember not using the internet.
Yes, I can distinctly remember it before the 2000s. That was a foreign thing to me.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. Um,
When's the last
with
time you used maps to get around, like a book, a
Oh
map
wow.
book? Because I
Uh,
remember having one, but then I don't
yeah.
remember the switch. I don't remember when I went from not using it to using it to from using it to not using it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like map was around a decade ago, I think, was the last time I used a physical map, and that was like my first time in Perth. And then eventually I was like, whoa, the map on my phone is so like it works so well. And that's when I started just using my phone.
And you know the only difference between that map on your phone
Yeah.
and a map is just going the pin where you are.
Yes.
Because if you had a
Yeah.
paper map that showed you where you are all the time, no problem, you know?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just a book that talks to me. Well, that's pretty much an iPad.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so just backtracking a little bit with the car thing, right? The other beauty with an electric car is it becomes extremely difficult with a petrol one, because you think how far is probably the most economical petrol car going to take you? 800, maybe 1,000 kilometers,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Like a Prado,
Tops.
two tanks, 1,500 maybe. Maybe tops.
Yeah, right.
That's expensive,
So
by the way. That's the same price as a Tesla.
yeah, it's expensive. So back in 2017, we had a world record for an electric car traveling 1,608 kilometers.
Was that the one with a solar panel on the back?
Yes,
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Actually, in 2017 and 16 was the
Mm.
tipping point between the cost of renewables and petrol and fossil fuel when it became
Yeah.
cheaper.
Oh, wow.
That was
Okay.
when it just went when the bars just met. You know how they go cross each other and then they go.
Ooh, that was that light bulb moment for a lot of investors as well. They're
It
like,
must have been.
here comes the future.
It must have
Yeah,
been. And look, let's not look. Let's play devil's advocate here.
sure.
Building batteries is quite environmentally not friendly. Like
Yeah,
having the ability to, well, sorry, the lithium mining, right? First of all, that's the first step. Then the
yeah,
manufacturing, the transport of said products. You have to use very big ships, diesel powered. Diesel spills sometimes, damages the environment, sure. But I'm sort of under the impression at some point, some of these countries need to bring back manufacturing to their own bloody, you know, shores and have
yeah.
these battery powered manufacturers happen internally and not have to ship it that far. So maybe one day electric car manufacturing could come back to Australia, America.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I feel like this is something, I mean, Australia is already looking at it. I mean, we've already started to invest in having local battery construction here, which is, it only makes perfect sense. We've got so much bloody lithium in our ground. We have companies that are already extracting and ready to go and doing it fairly efficiently. So it only makes sense that we do it on our homeland right here. And I feel really sorry for Robert with his comment. Robert Marino just decided to buy my first electric car in Vic. Then the state government decided to tax you per kilometer.
Uh,
Ridiculous.
I'm so
Mate,
sorry, man.
yeah,
That's
it sucks, man.
that's really
You
bad.
know, yeah, it really sucks. I mean, this we're trying to make a future here, and these guys are trying to what's that word when you discourage us? Yes,
Yeah.
they're trying to discourage us with these stupid taxes.
But that's, look, a lot of it comes from the government in power. Like, doesn't matter what, if it's liberal or labor or whatever it might be, A and B, they're all gonna say the opposite of each other to try and win your vote, right? So the other one's going to say, oh, we're not going to tax electric cars because it's good for the environment. The other one's going to be like, we got to tax these cars because we can see a future where electric cars are everywhere and we're not going to get enough tax from it. Like, I get why they're doing it. I just think it's shit to do it now. It shouldn't be. It should, like with GeForce, right? Like what I said. Okay, 4 million customers. Okay, that's a lot. Sure, for a service like this, yeah. But is it too early to double the price? Maybe. If you got 20 million and then you double the price, maybe that's going to be a thing. But taxing electric vehicles now, when they're unaffordable, hard to get, long lead times on buying them, is just insane. It's like, if I've got a sale of a product, if I'm doing a promotion on a product, I want the low price to sell as much as I can, and then I'll put it back up to the high price because all of a sudden it's in the market, people love it, and they might come back and buy it from me at a higher price. So why would I make the product high in the first place to then hope that one day somebody buys more? I want to flood, especially if it's a product that I charge from. So if it's a product, to use that product, I have to pay a subscription. Why would I sell it for more if I want more people to pay me ongoing money? So it just makes no sense.
I mean, that's the thing, right? And talking about like the construction of the vehicles, right? Being expensive and whatnot. And as that technology becomes, hmm, as it becomes cheaper to make them, we're going to get cheaper cars. I mean, this is why, like Tesla, when the first cars came out, they're bloody expensive. They still are pretty expensive. But then Elon, over time, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have cheaper cars now. What is it, 30,000 American dollars, which is probably gonna be 50K here
Let's have a
for a
look.
car."
Let's go buy a Model 3.
Yeah, Model 3 is I think 70,000 Australian, but if he brings down the price with the new models, we're looking at 50,000 and so on. And there are quite a few models that are coming around that 40, 50,000 bracket.
From competitors.
Australian dollars, yeah, competitors, but they don't have that performance nor range as the Tesla cars. They are
Yeah.
fairly inferior in comparison. So, so
66,900 is the price for a standard range rear wheel drive.
yeah, that's like cheapest. Probably doesn't have wheels, right?
Well, the range on that is 508
Yeah.
kilometers. Like,
Hmm.
that's incredible. That is
Yeah, it's not
absolutely
bad,
incredible.
right? And we're still in this baby phase. Like if an electric car can do 500 kilometers today, imagine what it can do in a decade. It's just going to be sci-fi.
Yeah, 73 drive away, actually. Apparently, there's costs here.
Yeah.
So, um, why do they put petrol savings into the, I don't like that. So it's 73,000. On-road costs is 5K. Local plate fee $28. CTP registration costs. Local stamp duty. Okay. I don't know why we're
Yeah.
paying luxury stamp duty on Teslas. Like they're not. It's not like luxury car. I don't think.
I know it's well, I mean, kind of is, but it's not priced like a luxury car to begin with, like, 60 grand. Yeah, Pog says my 1660 Ti is going to take years to mine 66K.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you
Well,
invest in GameStop, you might be able to buy a Tesla on Monday. You don't know.
yeah. Yeah, oh God. Does that even get you to Albany? Catherine asks, the 500 kilometers. I guess so, right? If you're in Perth Center, like Perth City Center, it's like 450 Ks to Albany, is it? That'll get you there one way. Albany to Perth.
You'll make it. You'll make
Yeah,
it.
420 kilometers. There you go. You'll be
But
sweet,
I would stop somewhere and have a bit of a recharge.
just in case.
Yeah. And then obviously,
Yeah,
but you
just
see,
in
the
case.
thing is, like, if you're going to Albany, you need to know that when you get there, you have a place to charge. So if you have a family home over there, you're gonna have to install a charger there.
Yeah, well, that's right. You're gonna need some sort of a charging point.
But
And
guess
if,
what?
yeah,
There is
what?
a portable Tesla charger,
How does
and
that work?
you literally just plug it into like a wall. Look, hang on. No, not this one. To wall.
To wall.
Oh, maybe it's not in here. But anyway, I saw it the other day. Mobile connector.
So it's like a converter, is it?
Yeah, it's really slow, but it
Oh, yeah, okay.
but it charges the car. Yeah, 15 amps. That's right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
right. So
so
it will take like 30 hours to charge to full or something.
so it's 10 kilograms per hour sorry, 10 kilometers per hour. So if you've got 500, 50 hours. Wait, hang on. No,
50
no,
hours?
no. Yeah, 50 hours. Yeah. That's
Oh,
so okay.
that,
So all I'm saying is that if you're going down somewhere, as long as there's power, you could inevitably charge it for 50 hours. So if you're there for a day or two, you'll be fine. Um, yeah, and
yeah,
Sam Dawson says that was a three-phase plug, so it would go in most industrial buildings. Three-phase, yeah. So three-phase would be
yeah.
faster, but I think there is another one that's just 15 amps. I mean, I think this is it. This is just not an Australian connector here. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've also with Sam's question about the luxury car tax. So I've just opened up a list here. According to this financial year, it's $68,000 for other vehicles, but fuel efficient vehicles, whatever that may be, is $77,000. So are they saying that electric cars have a higher threshold then for the luxury car tax?
Yes, it should mean that. But look at this. If I
Yeah.
change this to okay, have a look at this, right? 73,000 for Western Australia. Victoria, 72. That means they've got a better price.
Sure.
Okay. What about Tassie? 71. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Sorry there. 71 for
Oh yeah,
Tassie.
71. Drive away, yeah.
ACT, 69. Because, hey, that's where all the polys are. They get the best cuts.
Oh, they get the
Oh,
bargain.
yeah,
Damn, those
69.
bastards.
New South Wales, 71.
Yeah.
Queensland, 70. And South Australia, 71.
Yeah, and what was our one again? Was it? Did
We're
you
the
say it
most
was
expensive,
we're
73.
the most expensive?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
could,
it's
you
because
could,
we make so much money.
well, do we though?
Not really.
Do we subsidize the rest of Australia? Maybe we do. I don't know. You could potentially
Yeah.
fly to ACT, buy the car, re-register it, and probably cost you less.
Yeah, true. Not a bad idea. Might do that when I get a Tesla.
Yeah, but
It's gonna go
drive it
fly
across the
just south.
Marlborough, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
$1,200 to get a car across the Marlborough if you just put it on a train.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So you're not going to save much trying to
Oh.
get it over here and re-registering. It's not going to be worth it.
Unless I just, drive and charge, then it's gonna be like very cheap.
I don't think there is enough charging stations
Probably not, right? Come on,
to.
Australia. Let's get with the program. We need to live in the future.
I mean, look, there's a couple here. Look, here. But if we
Yeah, how many
go,
we're looking at? Like 15, 20 there?
let's search this area. Oh, it's not really letting me search. No, there must be some charging stations.
Yeah, no, there must be charging stations out in the wops somewhere.
No, it doesn't look like it, dude. I think it only covers up to Margaret River.
Really?
Yeah, look at
Oh,
that.
that sucks.
Hang on,
We
let's
need
check.
to just... Wow.
Yeah? Oh, no, look,
This
no, there you go. Look.
Here we go. Here we go.
Albany,
Oh, that's more like it.
there's a Tesla destination charger in Albany. There you go. Problem solved.
There you go, Catherine. You can drive all the way to Albany. You can
Okay.
chill out there,
So
and then you can drive all the way back
if you want to go across the Marlborough, you got to go northern. Well, you probably drive through this way. There's none. Oh, let's have a look. None out this way. None here. Oh, there's one. There's one in here, which is in, what's the place here? Dumbarton? Yeah, Dumbarton. West 2J. And then if we go across, what about this one?
Yeah, we're trying to get to, where are we going? South Australia.
Let's just go to Victoria. Oh, let's go to Sydney. Okay, so this
Okay.
from Northern to
So not
here,
that far then.
you're gonna have to make
Oh,
it.
oh man, there's nothing. Oh wait,
Oh,
no,
there
here
it
we
is.
go. Here we
Tesla
go.
destination charger. Where
There
is
you
that?
go.
That is
How far is that away?
uh
Oh, you're going like super east, yeah, from Perth.
yeah, I'm going super east. 260 260 kilometers.
Sweet, easy.
Yeah, but that's
You
like,
just
look,
yeah.
we're only here.
So how much further we got to go?
That's a long way.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back. Back. I mean, look, I'm sure there's one in the big cities.
Yeah, so we're looking like 250 to 300 Ks, right? Like maybe furthest charging station. If that's the case, that's all right. We can make it. Oh man, this would make for a really sick like a YouTube
Trip?
travel trip thing. It's like, can you make it across Australia in your Tesla? And just test it out.
Yeah.
That would be so sick.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You go across here, you drive here, and you can get to Adelaide. I'm sure there's heaps in Adelaide. Port Augusta must have one. These guys must, Port Lincoln must have one because these are all like locations where people want to go. Sam says, one of my mates has a Tesla Model 3. He did a 2,000
Yeah.
kilometer road trip up the Queensland coast and was able to charge for free with some Queensland government electric vehicle charging programs. That was a couple of years ago. And he says the total cost of ownership is still much higher than an IC car currently,
Yeah,
though.
no, you're right, Sam. Yeah, total ownership cost is much, much higher than owning an ICE car. You can get yourself like a Hyundai or something for like 15 grand and save yourself like 40 to $50,000
Yeah.
that would last you enough petrol till well, I don't know, for the next 20, 30 years, right?
Yes. So, look, prices
Yeah,
have to come down. And at the end of the day, we as, let's say, the middle class, right? They're going to be buying
yeah,
your Kias, your Toyotas, they're going to be buying the smaller electric cars that when you get inside, it's not all electric, it's all standard, but the engine is electric, right?
yeah,
It's going to be those ones without the fancy, self-driving cameras and all that sort of crap. It's going to be those cars
yeah.
that we're going to see on the road. And yeah, Sam, you just put it right there. Keen for when EVs make sense. That's
Yeah, absolutely. Like
absolutely
when
right.
we can buy one for $20,000 and it can do like 500 kilometers on a single charge, I'm sold. Bargain.
I would also add that there's one thing that Tesla did in the start when they started selling cars. Everybody who bought the first batch of Teslas in Australia got free charging for life of the car, completely transferable to the second owner.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see all these older Teslas pop up as secondhand cars for like 30, 40, 50K, free charging.
The only problem is that with these cars is, battery,
Yes, yes, yes.
what is it? The battery warranty is like 7 or 8 years or something like that. Maybe you'll top out at like 10 years, but still, after a decade, you have to replace that battery, and it still costs you more if you bought that initial Tesla for that large amount of money. So yeah, look, if they're below $50,000, then they're starting to look attractive.
So so you're right. It's warranted for 8 years. And then let's see how long. Because I remember somebody did
Yeah.
like 1,000,000 miles on a Tesla,
Mm.
and they did really well.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
here we
then
go.
yep,
250,000 kilometers.
250,000 on a single battery
Mm-hmm.
before replacing it. Is that
Seven
miles or kilometers?
kilometers, 70% battery retention capacity.
Yeah, that's not bad. A quarter million Ks.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
that's
I've
pretty
got
impressive. Yeah.
I think I've got that many on my Swift, like 260 or 270,000 now on my Suzuki Swift. And I think that thing's, probably gonna die sometime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, like most cars like these days, 300,000 Ks is like it's lifetime. So if a Tesla is up to 240, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you only have to swap out the battery? Okay.
Okay, Patrick, so what year are you going to buy an electric car? Give us a target date here.
Well, I mean, as soon as I can. But you know what? I've been riding my bike more often than I've been riding my car, driving my car.
Yeah, riding that car, bro.
So I'm on top, man. I'm doing Mr.
Yeah.
Bean with the strings and stuff.
With the string. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was imagining. When it said riding your car, I'm like, yeah, you've got like a recliner chair, you're sitting on top of your car.
So look, I don't know. I think I have to say it's probably going to be very in maybe a decade. I don't
Oh,
see
that far
myself.
away.
I don't see myself being able to afford a Tesla at all. Like
Okay.
it's just not going to happen. This is going to be me.
Yeah, that's gonna be you for the next 9 years
That's
before you
right.
get a Tesla.
I think
Yeah, that's all
just
right.
the fact that cars are a luxury product anyway. You don't like
Yeah,
we live in a society that the car is I don't know if it's like 100% needed. Yeah, okay, if you got kids you got to get them to school, sure, but
yeah, yeah.
having two cars, having a car that's like really mint and primo, I think it's a luxury.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a luxury. And I mean, we're kind of looking te at Teslas the wrong way as well. Like we have to acknowledge that it is like a luxury car, like the Model S or whatever, right?
Mm-mm.
Because you could go out and get like a Mercedes Benz for like $150,000, or you could get this car that goes faster than anything on the planet in acceleration wise, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
For half the price. And it's,
I don't get
advanced tech.
why people buy if you're willing to spend 150,000 and you're not buying a large off-road vehicle, I don't get why you don't buy an electric vehicle like a Tesla. I don't get it. I don't get it. Somebody can give me a reason, but why would you
Yeah,
buy
like why
a
would you buy like $100,000 car where you can get a Tesla
yeah,
for cheaper? Yeah.
like no, not even cheaper. Spend 150K on a Tesla. Trip it out.
Mhm.
Get a one of the Model X or Model Ys, right?
Yeah, yeah,
109
yeah.
I think it was 160,000 for the Model Y. It's like
Right.
a big beautiful SUV, strong and brave.
Oh, strong and brave. Yeah, yeah.
And I just don't get it because to me it goes, hang on, I could get this electric vehicle that performs better. It's electric. It's a huge toy, but I think it might be an ego thing. Maybe I'm putting too much of my own wants on that. Maybe it's an ego thing. Maybe it's still cool to have a Mercedes. I don't think it's cool to have a Mercedes.
You know what? It's gonna be cool when Mercedes goes all electric, man. It's gonna look sick.
Yeah.
Speaking of future cars, oh my God, I'm looking at this list of future electric cars and the stuff that's coming out in the next like 3 years is
Well,
insane.
send me a link so I can
Um,
share it.
yeah, look at this. Okay, I'm gonna send you a link now. Because there's this car on the list. It's the Genesis Essentia. And
Ooh.
oh man, this thing looks like it's from Cyberpunk, man. Like a lot of these cars kind of do. Like they have these very Cyberpunk influence.
Oh, that's
Like
beautiful. That
yeah,
thing is wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Audi's
there's the
going
Audi
electric.
yeah, Audi's going all electric, like well, eventually. But they're getting like everyone's getting on the E
They have
bandwagon.
to. They
Like
have to because they'll be left
yeah,
behind.
absolutely. Yeah. Look at that BMW
Yeah,
in 2021 electric. Yeah.
BMW has a an electric car already.
Hmm.
The little one.
Yeah, and there's another one. There's a in 2023 another BMW.
I love
Wow, look
this.
at that thing. The
Oh my God,
Bollinger
this speaks to
V1.
me. This speaks to me. It says,
It's so
Patrick,
boxy, eh?
be my box. That looks great. That's
It
like
looks like
the
a Jeep, kind
yeah.
of. Yeah. But I think just a little bit further down is
Oh, that's
it's a
cool.
I don't know what that is. Byton.
You know what we're gonna get?
Cadillac.
We're gonna get all these
Yeah.
tech companies building cars. We're gonna see a whole sleuth of like brands we've never heard of.
Oh, you're right. I mean, Apple's going with a car.
Yeah.
Why can't Microsoft or Sony? I mean,
Oh,
oh, Sony did a car actually. They did
yes.
a
They're
a
gonna go
demo,
back to
yeah.
it. They're gonna go back to it. I shit you not. They're gonna go
Yeah.
back to it.
Oh my God. It's like, check out my new Samsung car. Sick.
Cadillac,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Cadillac. That's another one. Top view. Canoe pickup truck.
That looks cool. It looks cool. I'll give it
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, canoe van. Oh, that looks, whoa, that does look
You know,
cyberpunky.
okay. All I'm gonna say is Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt with their 15 kids. That's what they're gonna
Yeah.
be photographed in when they go out on a family trip to the ice cream store.
But they've been divorced for ages.
Yeah, but they'll be back together. Don't you worry.
Oh, you're right. It's the future. They'll be back
This is
together
the
and
future, man.
they'll have twice as many kids this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Chevrolet. I mean, I love big cars.
Oh yeah, it's big.
What is this?
Oh,
Faraday. What is with
no,
them?
that
So
looks
there's a
futuristic.
Tesla, there's a Nikola car.
Yeah.
Now it's got a Faraday because it's the Faraday cage that Tesla
Yeah.
made.
There'll be
Fuck's
like an
sakes.
Edison car. It's like the Thomas Edison car.
There is Edison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
already there.
Sorry. I'm screaming into
No.
mic. I'm getting very excited.
Yeah. There's a
Ford.
Ford. Oh, that looks very much like a petrol car.
Well, it's the F-150. I think it's just a picture of a
Yeah.
150.
Electric. Yeah. Oh, that's the one I was talking about. The
Oh.
Genesis Essentia. Look how sick that looks.
Wow.
It's just beautiful design. I think that's going to be like a $200,000 car. Maybe
Hyundai
more.
invested $90 million in the Croatian car maker Rimac, which specialized in battery electric supercars.
Yeah, how sick. Imagine owning that. Oh, so beautiful.
That's the car you buy when you have a shitload of money.
Yeah, like instead of a Bugatti, that's what you're going to be driving in the future.
Exactly. Because sometimes buying a car isn't about driving it. Sometimes it's just like one-upping your competitor, your business competitor, be like, well, I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna one-up you by buying this. There's only 10 ever made, so I bought 9 of them and destroyed one.
Yeah, now there's only one left. Ah! Yeah.
Oh man, that looks fantastic. That's
Yeah.
striking. I
Unfortunately, it's probably none of us will be able to afford it, but it's nice to know it's going to be out there somewhere.
No, we gotta live with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
That looks cool. I like that.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
Hummer.
Hummer.
Hyundai. Ooh,
Oh,
very.
that one actually. My mate was talking about buying that one actually. The Hyundai Ion Q5.
Well, it's in
I
2021.
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be around the $50,000 range, that car. The kilometers is not great. It's like 400 Ks to the charge or something.
When's the last time you did 400 Ks in one go?
Um, it's probably like 3, 4 years ago.
Oh, but you did a trip around Western Australia, so it's not
Yeah, yeah, probably just going down south like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, I drive to work, which is like 40 or 50 Ks. So
Look how relaxed you can be.
she looks so chill, bro.
Look how
Yeah.
far that reclines, and like it's got a little step around in the here.
This is like before she saw the price tag. She was like, yeah, this is my jam.
Jeep's obviously going to have one, of course.
Yeah.
Kia. Oh, Kia looks good. You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Kia cars look actually quite cool. I'll give them that.
They do, eh? They don't look bad at all.
Oh,
Lagonda.
looks like a
All-terrain.
shark.
See, like all these names, it's like, oh wait, that one is an Aston Martin, is it? Because I
Yeah.
thought like, whoa, who are these companies? Like, there's all these new names coming out.
That is an Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, yep. That looks like somebody vomited on those cars.
I think they're trying to hide what the car is. I remember
Yeah,
being
yeah.
in New Zealand a couple of years ago, and they had a car that they were testing in the snow, and it was like completely like covered, and you couldn't see what brand it was.
Oh.
But we knew it was a Suzuki. It's just so easy to tell. Lordstown Endurance. That's interesting. That is a new brand.
Okay, yeah, that's a new one. A
Lotus.
Lotus. Yeah.
The British
Yeah, it
company, I
looks as
think.
sleek as all the other ones, yeah.
Lucid
Lucid,
Air.
yeah. Oh, it's a California startup. You see, this is the kind of stuff that's going
In
to be happening.
2007. Look at that.
Yeah.
Lucid
Cool,
Motors. Toyota. Oh, sorry, Mazda.
Yeah.
Mercedes. I mean, look, these
here we
guys
go.
aren't going to change the way the car looks. They're just going to be like, yeah, we'll just keep designing the way it looks, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Designing costs a lot of money.
Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes-Benz, oh,
Yeah, Mercedes
Mercedes-Benz,
jumping on that.
and Mercedes-Benz. What is this Mercedes-Benz sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, they got to get with the times. Like you said, everyone's going to get with the times.
Nissan. Oh, Batista.
Yeah,
Ah,
Farani
that's
Batista. You know,
yeah.
talking about like the world being 50% plus electric cars by 2035, but you know what? I think that forecast is going to change quite rapidly with the way things are going.
I think so too. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be exponential. Volkswagen. That's going to be the
Volkswagen.
shiz.
Yeah.
Now
Whoa, that looks so retro.
Pog says the Asus needs to make a Zen car.
Oh, that would be sick.
I
Yeah.
like the Volkswagen there. Volvo.
Like imagine Nvidia being like, check out our car.
Well, Nvidia is actually powering Tesla cars with their P1s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's impressive and nonetheless. Folks, I think it's time to end the stream. It's been almost 2 hours of us talking absolute trash about electric cars. Not just 2 hours about that one thing, but
Yeah.
make sure to like this video if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support us, you can press the join button below. And where can we find you, Casper?
Oh, you can find me in Perth, but outside of that, Game with Casper channel.
Very good, very good. You can click on a chat icon. Say hello, Casper, and they can click on you.
Hello, smiley face. That's me for real. No scams.
And we'll catch you all next week at the same time next time at 5 p.m. Western Australian Standard Time. And that will be 6, 7, 8 Australian Eastern Standard Time. But when is the done time thing ending?
Oh,
What's it
time
called?
difference.
Time difference.
I don't know.
October?
Well, the time difference is never ending, but when is the yeah, it's
The
I
1
don't
hour
know.
difference, yeah. In any
Yeah,
case,
'cause we
thank you
don't
very
have
much.
that in Perth.
No, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like this video. That really helps with the Google algorithm. It just means that next time we might see more people here, which is cool. And we'll see you then. Thanks for watching and have a good evening. Have a good Friday, everyone.
Yeah, had a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye bye. See ya.